Welcome to the Dodgers Blue News channel. Before the news, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Now, let's get to the Dodgers news. Hey there, Dodgers fans. Today we've got a hot topic, a possible trade that could completely shake up our timeline. While the Dodgers continue their battles in the MLB, it's our Los Angeles Dodgers dominating the headlines right now, and for good reason. After finally showing signs of turning things around, Max Muncy suffered a tough blow. Just when it seemed like he had fixed his swing, wearing new glasses, hitting .308 with 12 home runs and 48 RBIs over his last 46 games, his knee decided to betray him. Now, he's looking at least 6 weeks on the sidelines. With no time to waste, the Dodgers front office is reportedly scanning the market. The name of the moment is Ryan McMahon, third baseman for the Colorado Rockies, who comes with a $70 million contract and hopes of recapturing his past All-Star level. A move like this would push Muncy into uncertainty and drop McMahon right into the heat of our title chase. According to Zachary Howell of Clutch Points, the Dodgers might send Dustin May to Colorado in this deal. It would be a high-stakes gamble, but also a clear message of confidence in manager Dave Roberts and the roster, while giving the Rockies a future ace on the mound. McMahon isn't having his best season, carrying averages of .211/312/376, well below what he's shown before. Still, the Dodgers front office seems to believe he can find his way back to the form that made him a star. If this deal gets done, fans will see the front office doubling down on the present while also securing a long-term plan for the infield. The contract keeps McMahon under control through 2027, showing how this move could impact not just this season, but the next several playoff runs as well. For Ryan McMahon, trading in the Rockies uniform for the Dodgers classic blue would mean far more than just a change of scenery. Playing in Los Angeles means stepping into a completely different environment, where a winning culture is woven into the fabric of the club's daily life and the standard of excellence is high in every respect. At the altitude of Denver, McMahon was always a respected player, a solid name in the Rockies lineup, and a steady defender at third base, carrying a big part of the load for a franchise in constant rebuild. But arriving in Los Angeles, he'd find a club built to compete in October, surrounded by players used to big moments and fans packing Dodger Stadium night after night, no matter the opponent. This new stage would give McMahon the chance to focus purely on his game, knowing that instead of having to carry the team, he'd be part of a balanced roster, full of talent from Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman to young stars coming up from the farm system. The collective weight eases the burden on the player, as everyone understands their role and trusts the guy next to them to make a difference. For McMahon, that would mean not having to feel the pressure to be the hero every day, but rather contributing as a quality piece within a well-built machine. There's also the technical and strategic factor. Playing for the Dodgers would allow McMahon to work daily with some of the best coaches and analysts in the league. The staff is known for helping players make subtle adjustments that unlock offensive potential, something that's happened countless times in Los Angeles. Just look at recent examples of veterans who arrived underwhelming and elevated their game, benefiting from advanced data, personalized programs, and an environment laser-focused on constant improvement. On the field, the impact would be significant too. Unlike Coors Field, where dimensions and thin air drastically change how the ball carries, McMahon would have to adapt to Dodger Stadium, which, despite being considered pitcher-friendly, often rewards smart hitters who know how to spray the ball around. It's an adjustment that could even help him refine his contact and OBP, complementing the power he's shown many times in his career. In the clubhouse, he'd find an experienced group, used to the postseason, but also full of laid-back, committed personalities. The Dodgers' internal environment is known for blending focus and camaraderie, which makes day-to-day life more enjoyable and creates a culture where veterans and young players push each other to be better. McMahon, who still has multiple guaranteed seasons left on his deal, would gain the stability he didn't always have in Colorado. Over time, that could translate into greater consistency at the plate, since he wouldn't have to chase isolated stats to prove his worth or justify his contract. In Los Angeles, the focus is on collective performance and winning games, taking the spotlight off individual numbers and letting players work with less pressure on every at-bat. Ultimately, for McMahon, playing for the Dodgers would mean stepping onto a bigger stage, with more resources, higher expectations, and real chances to lift a trophy, something that weighs heavily in any athlete's career. He'd be surrounded by passionate fans, important games night after night, and the opportunity to leave his mark not just in personal stats, but in historic moments that define careers. It's the kind of opportunity that doesn't just shape a season, but helps build a player's legacy in baseball. For the Dodgers, having Ryan McMahon on the roster would bring much more than cold numbers or just a simple stopgap while Max Muncy recovers. He would be a strategic piece that could strengthen the team both immediately and over the longer term, balancing the lineup even further and adding more defensive security at third base. Offensively, McMahon would add the profile of a left-handed power hitter who, while currently underperforming, has already shown he can produce at a high level. In a lineup loaded with talents like Betts, Freeman, Smith, and others, McMahon wouldn't have to take on the spotlight. This context would allow him to be used more surgically, taking advantage of favorable matchups against right-handed pitchers and easing the burden of being the team's primary offensive engine. Instead of having to carry the production, he'd become yet another dangerous weapon, making the lineup even harder to navigate. Defensively, the Dodgers would see a notable upgrade at third base. McMahon is recognized for his range and strong arm, qualities that would shore up the left side of the infield and bring more peace of mind to the rest of the defense. For a team that prides itself on having one of the lowest error rates in the league, this addition would be a natural fit, practically an extension of the standard of excellence the organization demands. Beyond that, by adding McMahon, the Dodgers would also boost their tactical flexibility. Dave Roberts would have more freedom to build rest rotations, explore different lineup variations, and even test new combinations depending on the opponent. In the playoffs, where every matchup counts and games can hinge on tiny details, having a third baseman who's solid both at the plate and in the field is a considerable asset. Another important point, with McMahon under contract through 2027, the Dodgers wouldn't just be plugging a temporary hole while waiting for Muncy to return. They'd be anticipating and structuring the infield for the coming seasons, already preparing for possible roster changes or future financial adjustments. The Dodgers front office is known for always thinking 2 steps ahead, and bringing in McMahon would fit perfectly with that philosophy. In the clubhouse, he would join a group that already has a strong identity, built around collective work and a hunger for championships. Veterans who are used to the postseason know the value of having a reliable defender next to them and a bat that can spark the offense on any given night. McMahon would offer exactly that: steadiness, power, and the potential to regain all-star form, especially with the top-tier coaching support he'd find in Los Angeles. For Dodgers fans, seeing McMahon in the lineup would be yet another sign that the franchise is willing to invest not just to fight for playoff spots, but to get their arm to the teeth. It's the kind of move that keeps the team at the top of the league and shows why year after year Dodger Stadium becomes a stage for big October moments. In the end, having McMahon would be one more step in the Dodgers' ongoing construction of success in Los Angeles. An addition that strengthens the present, projects into the future, and ensures fans keep going to the ballpark or turning on the TV knowing they're watching a team built to compete at the highest level of baseball. When you weigh it all out, it's clear that bringing Ryan McMahon to the Dodgers would come with a pretty attractive package of benefits. Even though he's not at his statistical peak right now, McMahon offers tools that fit exactly what the team needs: solid defense, power at the plate, and a contract that provides security for the coming seasons. Not to mention he spent years regularly facing NL West pitchers, already giving him familiarity with part of the road the Dodgers will have to travel in the playoffs. On the other hand, the cost of this move can't be ignored. Including Dustin May, for example, would mean giving up a young pitcher with loads of talent and several years of team control left. It's the kind of move that shows ambition, but also carries risks, since high-upside pitchers like May don't come around often. The front office would need full confidence that McMahon will not only regain his form at the plate, but also deliver the consistency needed to justify this investment. However, it's precisely by being at this level of franchise, used to contending for titles, aiming high, and making bold decisions, that the Los Angeles Dodgers remain one of the most respected powerhouses in baseball. It's no surprise that the team is always looking to get better, even when it already has an elite roster. That's what separates organizations always waiting for the right year from those that are in the championship conversation every single season. In the end, if the trade for Ryan McMahon really happens, it will be yet another sign that the Dodgers aren't satisfied with almost. They're chasing solutions for today and tomorrow, driven by the goal of keeping Chavez Ravine lit up in October and giving fans new, unforgettable chapters to celebrate. It's that commitment to winning, to the present and the future, that makes every fan wear Dodger blue with pride, knowing that season after season, the dream of a title isn't just a wish. It's a project being executed with conviction. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think? How do you see the idea of Ryan McMahon holding down third base for the Dodgers in the coming years? Share your thoughts, and let's keep following every move of this team that never stops dreaming big. See you next time, Dodgers Nation.